So, this week, um, I've been out with a migraine, so it wasn't a very productive week. Um, yeah, my brain, it always takes a little while to get back to normal. My eyes always seem to be the thing that takes the longest to get back to normal. So, lucky for me, it's just, take my glasses off and I'm fine. Um, but I'm a little bit late this week on the book review. So I figured I'd get done before I go to bed tonight. And today we have chapter 5, self self perception is a zoo. I got my bedtime coffee and my little notes. I'm a lot more organized with my notes this. Let's put you there. There you go. So perception is a zoo. Um, so what we got here this week, we have why do we doubt ourselves? I think everybody always has that moment of doubt in their life as to whether or not they can do something, or when they're doing something, they get those little misconceptions of what other people are thinking of them, or that what they're saying or doing isn't as spectacular as it actually is. So this chapter talks about our self-doubts and how we view ourselves and how others view us, basically. And it talks about that it takes just as much energy to doubt yourself as it does to believe in yourself. So, why would you waste the energy doubting yourself when you could just try to flip your mentality around and take that energy and invest it in believing in yourself? And one of the things they say in this book to try is looking at yourself through the eyes of somebody who admires you. And probably a good way to do that would be to talk to people you know and ask them in whatever area that you're looking to improve on, how they see you. I guess it could go both ways. It could go positive and negative that way. I guess trying to figure out the ones who actually admire you and kind of getting a grasp on how they see you, um, without all your self-doubts creeping in, and it'll kind of give you an idea of where you actually are. I don't know if that makes any sense. I have this one friend who is absolutely a spectacular speaker, and he could sell sand to somebody who lives in the desert, basically. And a lot of times he doubts how good he is at public speaking and sales and stuff like that. And I always find that after, if you just put out that positive comment and remind him just how good he is, a lot of times it just takes that little seed to remind him that yes, he is good at this, and like he shouldn't worry, and you know so maybe that's another aspect too that we could look at, planting those seeds in other people's minds that we admire, so that they have that reassurance that their self-doubts just need to be quiet. And one of the statements I really liked in this chapter was, um, choose how you perceive your reality. So how you perceive what you are doing is how it is going to be. So if you think you're doing great at what you're doing, then you're doing great, and it's going to be great, basically. Um, and then it kind of ends off on a laugh at yourself, love yourself, and you are perfect in your own messed up way. It says effed up way, but and I just love that. I think in this day and age, we just take ourselves way too seriously, and you have to learn how to laugh at yourself. Not take yourself so seriously all the time. And you definitely need to learn how to love yourself. I One thing I always like to do is I will think of myself as a friend or somebody I'm talking to, and I will give myself advice as if I was one of those friends, and take it, because usually we are a lot more loving and understanding and compassionate towards the people we care about than we are ourselves. We're usually our own worst critics and the hardest on ourselves. So um, I always have to remind myself to stop and do that and look at myself objectively instead of with all my criticism. And I do like that statement that we are all perfect in our own messed up way, because nobody else is like you. You are you. You're meant to be how you are. And I think the sooner you embrace that, the easier things get in life, because you start being who you're meant to be, and that ends up being pretty spectacular. And so that's the end of part one. And what I said, there's 5 parts to this book. So that's the end of part 1, and part 2 is how to embrace your inner badass. So there are 4 chapters in that one. Love the one you is. That's horrible English. Love the one you is. Okay, that's gonna bother me. I know you are, but what am I? What are you doing here? And loincloth man. That sounds intriguing. So I guess this is kind of a shorter one this week. But anyways, I hope you have a wonderful week. And I will see you again on Sunday. I'll be there on Sunday.